free agent bargain buys can the 49ers target that's not a big name, high profile cap casualty a la K'Wan Williams? Grant, thanks for sharing your journey and keep up the great work, guys.
Thanks, Sonny.
First of all, we really appreciate it, Sonny. Grant, you got names? Because I got names in my back pocket.
You go first.
All right, perfect. So I have 3 names, all on the defensive side of the ball, all positions I would like them to address this offseason. Yep. The first one to me is going to be a bargain given the value of the player, but I think that the Niners are going to have to play the waiting game. And I think the player to look out for is Yannick Ngakoue. I love him. Totally see a situation where Yannick Ngakoue's situation ends up being the exact same as Jadeveon Clowney last year. Okay. Traded to a team midseason, looking for the big contract, didn't necessarily have the type of season that's going to warrant the overpay with the cap going down in free agency. He might hold out and take a 1-year incentive-laden deal late in the market and look to re-up the very next offseason. And I think the thing with Yannick Ngakoue that's more attractive than Clowney is, one, he's not as good a run defender, but a better pass rusher. And 2, he doesn't have the same injury history as Jadeveon Clowney. And then the other 2 are at the cornerback position. This, with the assumption that the Niners bring back Verrett, to me, I brought these 2 names up before. They're not flashy. They're not names that people like. But to me, they're the kind of guys that you can bring into your organization to compete for a starting job, and that's Kevin King and Shaquille Griffin. If the money is right, you can pay both of those guys $4 to $5 million, maybe a 1-year deal, and bring them in to compete for the starting job on the other side of Jason Verrett. And I think they would both, given their talent, given their physical abilities, be good value in that sense if Akello walks, because Akello is also of a similar mold, maybe slightly less proven than the former 2.
Look, you watch more Kevin King than me. He went to my high school, by the way. Shout out Vish. He's way younger than me, so I'd love to cover a guy who went to my high school. That'd be pretty cool. Only time I watch Kevin King is when he's getting beat.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
But I don't watch that much of him. He's had
a lot of bad moments on national TV, and I think what happens is when you play on the other side of such a good player like Jair Alexander, you're going to get targeted. It happened.
Akello had the same problem, right? Akello had the same problem opposite Richard Sherman. Yep.
Yeah, and it happened to Antonio Cromartie opposite Darrelle Revis. Cromartie was still a really good player, but he got targeted because he was opposite Darrelle Revis. I mean, Kevin King, we know the 49ers like him, right? The expose that Peter King did of John Lynch's first draft, one of the names they discussed there at trading back into the first round, top of the second round, was Kevin King. So I think that I think we both know that they like Kevin King based on that, or they liked him at some point. I think he would be a very, very reasonable bargain because he's still physically gifted. He's 6'3" and he moves well.
Yeah, he works. He fits. Who was the other guy you said? Shaq Griffin. I really like Shaq Griffin. I think he might get some money. He might be the kind of, because he's not too old, 26.
Nah.
He should get some money. Kevin King seems like he could be cheap. The guys I'm going to name are a little older, and these guys I think should be bargains. I've always loved Xavier Rhodes since he came in the league, and I know he had a couple of rough years in Minnesota, but he went to Indy this year and played really well. He's about the same age as Jason Verrett. He's bigger than Jason Verrett, and I think given his age, he shouldn't be too expensive.
He can play zone.
He could play zone. I mean, I would like Xavier Rhodes. I think he's a hell of a player. And staying in the defensive backfield, I do love Jaquiski. You've turned me into more of a Jaquiski Tartt appreciator. I see what he brings to the table. He might want to leave. He might get a better deal somewhere else. If he does, someone that would be interesting to target is Keanu Neal. He missed most of a couple of seasons ago, but he played last year and basically played really well. Played most of the season. He shouldn't be too expensive. I'd be interested in Keanu Neal. Those are 2 guys.
Keanu Neal was a developing superstar. He was looking like a young Cam Chancellor when they played the Seattle scheme in Atlanta at the beginning. Him and Deion Jones looked like the future of that defense, and he's been unlucky with injuries. This is a great name in Desmond King. I'm not sure what the market will be like for Desmond King, though, because he's a very proven player in his past, and I think he might be able to capture some amount of money. We'll see, but I would love to bring in Desmond King.
What about Cordell Patterson?
I don't think the Niners need another ball carrier. Maybe as a kick returner, the Niners could use somebody that's not just going to do the old hands apart and let the touch.
The reason I say Cordell Patterson is because his skill set is so similar to Debo's, and I can't think of a better backup for Debo in the league because Debo's so important. And when he gets hurt, like the Niners offense, not only does it suffer, it changes. Like the identity change. It might be, I don't know. What do you think?
If they sign Cordarrelle Patterson, it'll tell you where they think what they think they have in Jalen Hurd and what they think.
Good point. Because Jalen Hurd kind of is the same.
He's in that mold.